community and fellow vinyl nerds, I guess. I'm here to do a second video today, and this is entirely dedicated to one record. The entire video is dedicated to one single record, and I feel that it's important one, not only for the vinyl world to know, but especially to I guess me. Let's say that me. I finally have a copy of this record, Vicious Visions, I Beat You and No Nose. I've been looking for this record for at least 8 years, I think, and I finally have a copy of it. And this is, if you know about this record, your jaw is dropped right now. If you don't know about this record, I'll tell you why your jaw should be dropped right now. It's because Vicious Visions, I Beat You and No Nose is probably one of the most valuable records in Swedish history. If you want the single, you have to pay somewhere between maybe $1,000 to $3,000 to own a copy, and they surface on the market maybe once every 5 or 7 years. So it's that rare, and it's that collectible, and it's that, like, yeah, insane to find. It's one of the most sought after punk singles in Swedish history. It's one of the most important ones, I guess. But that's not why it's important to me in this time. I don't know what to say. That's not why. Only why. This was released in 103 copies, if I'm not mistaken, and 50 of them were in color, and the rest of them were in black and white. This is the history. I heard someone say this, but don't get me. I may be wrong. I don't know. Because the color in the printing machine went out, so the other ones are in black and white. But I've never seen an actual even a picture of the black and white version of it. So I've only seen this one, and I've only seen a real version of this once, and that's in a store in Stockholm. And they are selling their copy on Discogs, so you can buy it on Discogs, and I think it's $2.8 thousand for it there. So yeah, and when they get out on Swedish eBay, there's a bidding war on it, and it's a ridiculous price. And I would pay a lot for an original, probably in the same line as almost like the sum of my equipment. I don't know, but a lot of money. I would buy it for a lot of money. This is important to me because I knew this guy here, Magnus, because Magnus is my girlfriend's uncle, I think uncle, her mother's brother, uncle, I think it's uncle, and he sadly passed away just 4 or 5 years ago in cancer. Very, very, very sad. Magnus was a great guy. Very, very funny, highly intelligent, just a fantastic guy. And he left, I hope her relatives don't mind me talking about this. He left two children, I think, but that we talk with at least, and have, you know, that we know and talk with. A guy that's a little younger than me, and a girl who's a little bit older than me, and she has a copy of this, and I have let the family know about the value of the single, so I think that they know about the collectability and value of the single. But I mean, for them it's so super awesome that the family still has a copy of it. I mean, if it was my dad who made that, I would be so happy to have a record left. I mean, yeah, very, very valuable. And I guess they printed 103 copies, but I guess that maybe there's 20 of them out there. Still 20, 30, I'm just guessing, because they never surface, and you know, they're the rare the rarity of it, and you know, so maybe 20, something like that. If there were 100 copies out there, it wouldn't be that expensive and hard to get. So I'm just guessing. Yes, that's what. This is a punk single. It was on the cover of a punk book released maybe 3 or 4 years ago, called the Swedish Punk Encyclopedia. And this was the cover of that book. So it's that important, I guess, to the punk community that they even fronted it. What else? What else? Yes, yeah. I guess, how did I get a hold of this? I mean, almost every store I go to, I ask about it. Every time I go to a thrift store or a flea market, I look for it, obviously, and I Google the hell out of it almost every week just to see if there's any news, or, I mean, someone else has written about it, or Magnus, and the influence it had on the Swedish punk scene, because I don't collect singles and I don't like punk, so this is like out of my comfort zone music wise. But I've been hunting this record for 8 years, 7-8 years. So yes, how did I get a hold of this? When I Googled it one day, this is 6 months ago, a little more than 6 months ago, I saw a picture of it on a Japanese site. So I saw the single on a Japanese site, no English, just Japanese. So I managed to find a little button that said email. So I emailed them, said, what do you want for the copy? And they said, it's not out yet, we're going to reprint it, 500 copies later this year. So I said, I want a copy, hold one for me, and tell me your price, Mr. Man. And he said he would let me know when it's out there. So, and after that I emailed him a couple of times during this spring, yeah, whatever. And he said, soon. And 3 weeks ago he sent me an email, said, now it's out there. Give me the money because they are running out fast. So I did, and it came to me just a couple of days ago. Finally have it. $22 with shipping from Japan. Finally here, 500 copies. And I believe him. I think that this is going to sell out. Even the repress is going to sell out pretty fast. So yes, awesome that I have a copy of this now. And obviously, like every other Swedish collector, I'm gonna continue looking for this. Every thrift store, every flea market, and hopefully one day I'll find this, because this was produced in my town. It was recorded in Gothenburg, but I think released and sold because they came from this town. So I think that if I'm gonna find it, it's on a flea market or a thrift store where a punk guy, now too old to have his records, having family, and, you know, selling off his punk singles. I think that that's the only way to find it on a thrift store where someone left their shit and just this was one of the pieces, and the store owner, obviously, or the guy selling it, have no idea about the the value of it, or the collectability of it, the rarity of it. And I really hope someday I will have that, you know, situation, flipping through the records. You know, that's why we do this, flipping through the records and just like, shit, that would be great. So I hope I'm gonna be able to do that one day. But until then, I'm super happy that there's a market for it, and demand for this. Just two guys doing a punk single in 1983, and they even want it in Japan. It's just insane. So I mean, in this case, I mean, having the original would be just a dream come true, obviously, and that would be so much cooler than having a repress, obviously. But I mean, when they did it, 103 copies, they had no idea about this being as influential as it became, and rare as it became, and collectible as it became, and the demand of people all around the world wanting a copy, even in Japan. I mean, they had no idea about that. So having a Japanese press of this is also another layer of the collector thing, and the mythology, or whatever you have to want to say, about the music and the single, and Magnus' legacy being out there. So having both would be, you know, the best thing, I guess. So that's it. I've been talking over 10 minutes now about one single, and I thought about this earlier, but I think that 99% of you three who's gonna watch this haven't watched it until now. So just like a little experiment, if you hear this, and if you're the hero of a person that you are, watched it all the way to here, please comment. Write piggy piggy pig in the comments field, or anything. I mean, you will get a star in my book if you know about this, that I'm talking this long about one single, because no one will listen this far to this. Do that, and let's see if anyone does that. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now. But yeah, fantastic. On top of my want list, obviously. I mean, I never thought I would hold a copy of this, and I'm really happy that that I can do that now. And I have it in my living room, and both me and my girl, when we walk past it, you know, it just brings a smile to your face, knowing that Magnus' music is out there. It's just so damn cool. Have a great day, everybody.